and welcome to Ginger Welsh Allotments. I am Bethan and I've eventually made it over to the plot as it's been raining pouring for the last few weeks really, so I haven't really got much done and the weeds have grown and my plants have kind of stayed a bit still, to be honest. So I've got a lot to do today, but before that I thought I'd mention that this is the 100th episode of Ginger Welsh Allotments, and it will probably be the last episode of Ginger Welsh Allotments, as I'm going to rename my channel to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden if it's not already taken, because I want to incorporate some cooking and winemaking into my video logs, and I kind of feel that Bethan's Kitchen and Garden incorporates that more and lets people know what I'm doing. So with all this bad weather, it's been a bit daunting, and it's been a bit, how can I put it? Not I've lost enthusiasm for the plot, but it's kind of a bit hard to keep going because you're constantly sort of thwarted by everything. It's either I don't have time to come over or the weather just doesn't let me come over. But I did a huge harvest the other day and that really buoyed me up. I'd like to show you the harvest in these photos because it really did give me the motivation to sort of keep going and persevere with it. Not that I was going to give up, but I was just a bit like that. But I feel a bit more like G'd up to come over now and get things sorted out. And the other thing I did was last year I took some drone footage of my allotment to see how it was growing, and I've also taken some drone footage this year. So I want to show you that as well, because I've never shown you that footage before, and how can I put it, the difference between how the allotment is now looking to how it was looking has again given me renewed enthusiasm, because it just feels sometimes like it's a load of hard work for little reward, but it's not. It's just lovely to get out into the fresh air, isn't it, and just sort of do a bit of potching here and there. So here's the footage. So that's how the plot is looking at the moment, and I'm going to get on with some jobs now and show you what I've got to do today. Over here I've got some tomato plants and some cucumber, gherkins, sweet corn and dwarf French beans, which I'm hoping to plant out in this bed here. But before I do that, I need to clear it of all the weeds. And where I put down the black fabric this side, I had my purple sprouting broccoli and kale and sprouts in this bed over winter, and what had happened was the sprouts had sort of overshot and were laying on where the path should have gone. So I anchored in this side of the path, but I haven't anchored in this side of the path. You can see I've got markers as to where my path should go. So once I get rid of the weeds, I will then put this black fabric into place, and then hopefully I shall start planting out my tomatoes. As a lot of you know, I do try and practice the no-dig method where I can, but I've run out of time to put in any more raised beds now. So in regards to planting these cucumbers and tomatoes and sweet corn, I will just dig a hole and put some well-rotted manure in that planting pocket and then plant on top of the manure, and that's how I will do the whole bed. It's just a matter of time, and these beds do need a bit of extra oomph now put into them because they grew the brassicas last year, which would have taken up a lot of the nutrients in the soil. So they do need the manure added to them, or any compost I have to hand. So it's going to be a long old day, and I'm not sure how far I'm going to get, but I'm going to set you up on the tripod so you can see my progress throughout the day. This bed is all prepped now, and I've got the twine set up to give me a straight line to dig the trench to plant the black fabric. And once I've done that, I'll crack on with planting. So I'll show you what I'm going to do once I've done this black fabric. That's one thing done now, and I've started at this end where I've dug a trench and I've filled it with some manure, and I'm going to put my sweet corn in. I have got some sweet corn planted down the bottom. This variety is Swift, and the one at the bottom is incredible. And I've also got some dwarf French beans to go in, and some gherkins and a cucumber. Now, I'm not entirely sure where everything's going to go at the moment. I'll work that out as I go along. I want to keep the gherkins and the cucumbers separate, so I'll be building two rows for them to grow up. But I want to keep them separate because it'll be hard to see which one is which if I grow them together. When I'm harvesting, it'll just be easier if there's like, that's the cucumber and that's the gherkin bit. So in regards to planting up the sweet corn, I'm going to have 3 plants along here, 2 dwarf French beans in the middle, and then another row of 3 there. I'm going to get on with planting up all these now and see how far I get. I'll bring you back when I'm packing up, because I'm going to have to dash off soon. So I'll let you know how I get on in a while. Here it is, planted up. I didn't get as far as doing the tomatoes. I thought I'd do them when I've got a bit more time rather than rushing, and I've got to get home now anyway because my children will be home soon. But I got my 5 sweet corn in there with the dwarf French beans in the middle. Then I've got my cucumber, Market More, there. But it's not a very well established plant, so I don't know if that's going to come to anything. I've got my 2 gherkins along here, and you can see the difference between the 2 plants. Well, not them 2 plants, but between the cucumber and the gherkins, because they've grown so much more than that cucumber has. But we never know, it might pick up. And then I've got some dwarf French beans in amongst here. Well, I'm afraid I didn't get a chance to finish off my vlog earlier as I had to dash home, and I'm heading back over to the allotment tonight to plant out some of those tomatoes. As always, I would have liked to have got a bit more done on the plot today, but what I did get done was a lovely job. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye bye.